Last year we got over 5,122 pips, literally trading only 20 minutes about twice a month. And this year we're going to get at least, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times as much. So happy Tuesday, everyone. This is the third Tuesday of the month, and this will be our first swing kind of public swing trading call of the year. We did make a video on kind of how we performed last year, and we were really only counting the last couple of months of the year per se, but definitely make sure you check that out as well. For now, I'm going to start off with our disclaimer because obviously I need to protect the house and myself and you as well, to say that this is not financial, legal, or investing advice. Obviously, I practice high risk, high reward trading. You can follow similar or comparable steps doing what you do on your own. So like I said, we do have an entire video that we did kind of going over this. Remember, we were only started to use this spreadsheet toward the end of the year, that last quarter. The company that was running some of this was already keeping their own track, and they have that as well. But for now, I started my own because obviously I teach some morning classes, in which case we do some pretty awesome things in terms of indices mostly. So we do a lot bigger numbers, you know, because they obviously move more. But this was meant to be a, hey, what if you took trading super simply and you didn't overcomplicate it and you just followed some basic rules? What kind of, results could you get? So as you can see, we were using the same swing trade system over and over again. The rules are predefined and the videos are all public. So this being the first Tuesday of the year that we're actually going to go ahead and do this video, pick our couple of pairs, I would implore you to set up a demo account. If you don't yet have one, please go to the link tree in the description below. There's tons of brokers to choose from. Set up a Monopoly Money account, set up some paper trading, and just follow this along for a couple of months and say, hey, if I followed these rules specifically, what kind of results, what kind of growth, what kind of ROI would I achieve in 3, 6, 9 months or a year? And remember, this is just super, scaled down, super easy, not aggressive whatsoever. So all of the instructions are all there. This is what we ended up getting toward the end of the year. Remember, that's about 20 minutes twice a month and all that good jazz. So without further ado, we do have a couple of new pairs that we're going to go take a look at now on the MT4 and see, hey, consider looking at some of these entries, and we'll check in again in 2 weeks and we'll go over how they performed, and we'll go over a couple of new ones and just kind of keep that going and show you the swing trading system within a company that I work with. Okay, the blessing is we don't have any major trades to review because this is the first one of the year. Notice how I've got a couple of pairs pre-picked already. I'm kind of excited about them. I didn't want to overload. There's probably a good 7 or 8 that I could choose from, but I'm going to keep it really simple and just start at 1. So for those of you guys who don't know, this is all using the same simplicity system, which is a reversal based system. It tells you kind of when to enter the market, and it tells you when the market may or may not retrace. Granted, it is a repainting indicator, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing if you know how to use it and you manage your risk accordingly. So using the 1 hour time frame, every time we're looking for the symbol to at least, the indicator to tell us, hey, this might be a good time to consider looking for an entry. We don't enter based off of that alone. I wait for the continuation of, typically meaning something on the lines of breaking a fractal, right? Breaking the most recent fractal. And from there I say, okay, this is telling me I'm going to be looking for a sell. I typically check around some other time frames just because I like to do my due diligence. We've got daily, we've got a nice ascending channel, got something really to look for. 4 hour, we definitely have a beautiful impulse back up, failed to make a higher high. Looking like we have quite a bit of room to the downside, and now down to the 1 hour. This is one that I'm looking for. So yes, we've got it highlighted. So starting with the first things first is Euro CAD, right? I would be looking for an entry here, basically somewhere in and around, well, let's see. I'm going to make this red. Not that I always have to mark it up, but I am going to go ahead and make it red for sell beyond this point. So notice the price point on the chart. Actually, I should make it perforated so we know it's pending. To say, hey, we break below this point, I'm looking to enter this as a sell. That's really all I'm doing. Nothing rocket science, nothing that's really that complex at all. I think using this video maker is more complex than actual trading. Obviously, I'm biased in that opinion. But Euro CAD, here we go. When price continues to break below and or retraces, you can of course take the pullback. That would be a much smarter way to trade. But for the purpose of these videos and duplication, I'm just trying to show what can be done. So for example, if you enter here, my stop loss is going to be above structure, right? Plus a 1 hour ATR at all times. So I'm always using structure and a 1 hour ATR cushion. That's where my stop losses are going. Beyond that, I'm always protecting within a couple of ATR or 50 pips, depending on the instrument you're trading. And in general, I'm looking to the left at pretty much what I call areas of interest, right? Those are supply and demand, support and resistance, order blocks. Those are liquidity voids, imbalances in the market, measured moves, quarter points, Fibonacci, the whole nine. You can I bundle all those together and say, hey, here's one train of thought that kind of labels it all. I'm looking to the left for those areas. So first and foremost, just a little more lengthy on this one tonight, but it is what it is. Give you an idea, that's, what is that, 41-ish pips? Not a whole bunch, but this isn't a super fast mover either. And that thing's in my way, that circle from the video, but you guys get the idea. If this would stop moving on me. Let's try that one more time. One more time. We've got about 41 to 126 pips in general. Not a bad way to be, right? That's a good way to be. That is a great overall potential. Now, granted, I'm going to expect a reaction in this area, hopefully some consolidation and a pullback. But overall, I'm still looking for much farther than that. If we break below this 4-hour low, our potential on this trade goes from 120-ish pips all the way down to the bottom of this zone. I think that's about 400-ish pips what I measured without this circle in my way, to give you guys an idea. Down to 500, 600-ish pips. And of course, if we continue to break down below that, you're looking at about 700-800 pips. So not a bad trade, great risk to reward overall. That is number one. And I'm going to work my way backwards because I started at the bottom. So that's trade number one. I hope you guys consider taking that on your demo account. Trade number two is AUD NZD 1-hour time frame. Notice we've got the simplicity sell signal saying, hey, a basket of information is telling us this could potentially be a good area to sell. We're not saying that it's going to win 100% of the time. We're not saying it's 100% anything, because that would be foolish and it would be inaccurate. But what I am saying is, if we break below this area, so again, I'm going to get out my little crosshairs, go to the most recent fractal, and I'm going to the widest part of the fractal and saying, hey, if we break below here past the time that we're currently on, which is what time? If you look to the bottom of my screen, it's what? 117 at 2300? That's not exactly right. It's 118 UTC time, but you guys get the idea. That's where we're currently at. So beyond this time, which is the 1 o'clock candle, technically speaking, I guess I'd have to really zoom in to show you that. Let's see. This is the 1 o'clock candle, 0 o'clock candle. So give you an idea. From this price point on, if we break below this area, cool, I'm going to be looking to sell this trade, sell this pair, sell this instrument. What that looks like risk and reward wise is, I'm going to zoom out. Here's where that entry would be. I'm going to go ahead and hit sell because I've got a pretty nifty indicator that kind of shows me some cool stuff. I'm going to drop my stop loss above structure with some room. Like, I can't exactly count the exact pips without taking a bunch of time, so I'm just going to eyeball it. Figure right now that's not a very great risk to reward, but I'm going to be targeting at least into this range, bare minimum, right? Bare minimum, I'm going to be targeting into this range as a target, which gives me about a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward. That is a great way to be, and that's not even all that this pair has the potential for. That's going to give us about a 61% retracement, give or take, maybe a little bit more, just to give you guys an idea. So that's number two. Next trade on our list for the day is AUD NZD. This is a 1-hour trade, swing idea. Please consider taking this. Like, come along with this system and say, what if I took all the guesswork out? What if I took all the stress work out? I stopped over trading, I stopped over analyzing, I stopped over listening, stopped overthinking, and I just took a set of trades. I don't care this system or any system, but trade less, right? And trade more managed and more mathematically pleasing. What could you do? Next trade, which I'm really biased on this, as you first off, I have to notice there's no simplicity signal just yet. Having said that, we have a beautiful ascending channel on this pair that we are waiting for that to turn around. I'm not expecting this to give us a huge long-term retracement. I'm not looking for the 60-70% retracement. I'm looking for a solid, 20 to 38%. That's what I'm looking for in terms of this. This is prior to the simplicity trade, but I still think it's a great overall trade, and we're waiting for that breakdown. So same kind of concept, past this fractal, right? Once we break through this fractal, I'm going to put my stop loss above structure, and I'm going to be looking for what? At least one ATR. The ATR on this is 44 pips, not 442. That's a mistake there on that indicator. It's just actually a broker issue, not a indicator issue. But I digress. What does that equal in terms of risk and reward? This is over 600-ish pips for our take profit, and we're only looking at, even with the very top part, we're still looking at better than a 2-to-1, give or take, right? You're still better than a 2-to-1 risk to reward, and that's not even the full size of the move that I would be looking for. Remember, we're always protecting within 50 pips or a couple of ATR. The choice is yours if you're more comfortable with ATR. ATR is vastly more accurate. Last but not least is Euro USD. I tried to spread them out a little bit. I have no GBP pairs. I didn't really want to keep. I didn't want to pick one today. But Euro USD is next on my list. So again, 1 hour. We've got a perfect, beautiful simplicity system telling us we might be considering a sell. Now, I'm not going to just listen to that. We have a nice little trend. I still want it to break this area and preferably retest before I take it. So to, again, keep this simple and duplicatable so anybody, everyone from 12 years old can do this kind of concept. You get to this area, very, very simple. You're taking your sell. Your management is going above structure plus a little bit of room for a spring. You're protecting within either your 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, that's your call, or 50 pips, or your couple of ATR. Those are all your call, but always protect, protect, protect. Protect means what exactly? Trailing stop. It means trim some of your position. It means trim some of your position. It means move your stop loss into profit. Any of those are totally fine. It's going to be totally up to you on which one you want to decide to do. Or of course you can use automatic management, and I'm a little bit more prone to that one. I feel like that's the better case because it takes the human error out of it. But still, the call is yours. Just make sure you're protecting and the rest you're letting it run. So this is Euro USD. I'm looking for a sell. That's 4 perfect pairs. And before I get off of this pair, I'm going to go ahead and pop up a little bit. Look at how this has performed. Even with a very short-term retracement, this is the 4-hour, mind you. With a very short-term retracement, we're still looking at better than, oh goodness, I wish that circle was out of my way, 197 pips, right? Not a bad way to be, and that's the minimum that I'm really looking for. If we break below this level, I'm going to look for it to break, retest, and then continue to the downside. We'll see. But needless to say, I think that these 4 are great trades to maybe consider, and I'm excited. If you guys have not already done so, please make sure you are posting any questions you have. The whole purpose of this kind of Tuesday night series is just to show you that it's possible, to show you that without spending a dime, don't pay anybody anything, don't buy a single course, don't join anything ever, just try this. Just come free to YouTube and see what you can do. And again, it doesn't have to be the system. The purpose that I'm trying to get across to you is it's not the system, it's the consistency, it's the lack of over trading, it's the proper risk management, it's the proper management overall. And trading is a really easy enough, right? Easy enough industry to create the financial freedom that you may be looking for. And that's kind of how I feel about it. As always, if you have certain questions, comments, or topics you want covered, by all means, put them in the chat and we will check them at least every couple of days and do my best to get a video out on that topic. If you need more information about anything that I'm doing or the groups that I'm working with, obviously you can check the link tree and the stuff in the description. Otherwise, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for the likes, comments, and subscribes. And I'm excited to work with you. I'm excited to help make just a small impact in people's lives and to just do what we're doing in our own way. So happy Tuesday. I will see you again in the month of love here in a couple of weeks in February. Take care and God bless.